So what is Asperger's? Here are 5 known facts that you definitely need to know. All that's coming up. Hey guys, welcome back to TheAspieWorld. What's going on? My name is Dan. I have Aspergers Syndrome, ADHD, OCD and dyslexia, and I make weekly videos just on this content. So if you are new around here and you'd love to learn more, remember to hit that subscribe button by clicking the notification bell. And if you're watching over on Facebook, be sure to give this page a like and a follow to see more videos just like this one every single week. Ooh, guys, what's going on? Welcome back, Different Thinkers, where we think differently daily here in the TheAspieWorld. It's super awesome to have you all here. I just love doing it. I just love it. You guys are amazing. If you are feeling pumped and ready to get this video started, please give this video a thumbs up. That'd just be super, super dope. Okay, so the real question is, do you want a free PDF download book from me? Yes, that's right. I've made a book all about hacking autism daily life. So if you want to get your hands on my free PDF book, make sure to go to the link in the description, the card above here, and a card on the end screen where you can download my book for free because it's like a little gift from me to you because I love you. So why wouldn't I? Right. And that being said, if you want to hit me up on Instagram and Twitter, you can do. The link will be in the description below and my tags will be on here somewhere on the screen. So you guys can follow me and talk to me and whatever. I read every single one of my DMs and comments and messages and tweets, and I reply to every single person as well because you guys are awesome and you're worth it. So yeah, let's go on with this video. Enough of me rambling down. Let's go on. Okay, so I have detailed out 5 known facts about Asperger's Syndrome, because I feel like a lot of people don't know what Asperger's Syndrome is, and I just want to clear something up, that Asperger's Syndrome is now called Autism Spectrum Disorder, and there is no real difference between Asperger's Syndrome and autism. It's one and the same thing. Asperger's is autism, it just had a weird nomenclature changeover, and there was but the whole thing, right? I'll do a story all about the change, but that's not important for now. The important part is that autism is Asperger's and it's interchangeable. It's just that the title of this video is Asperger's and stuff. Anyway, let's get on with these 5 facts because I'm really pumped to get them going. Okay, so number 1, Asperger's Syndrome, or autism, is a neurological disorder, and that's what it's classed as. It's more like a neurological condition than a disorder, because disorder makes it sound like something bad, but it's actually more of a condition. So Asperger's Syndrome is a neurological, neurodevelopmental disorder, which is present in people from birth. It's something that happens. It's the way your neurons, your neurological paths in your brain fuse as you're being like created, you know, on that kind of like rush of like universe, like whoa, doing all this cool stuff. That's kind of like what happens at the conception of your life, which is pretty amazing. At that moment in time, you kind of get fused with, like, you know, who you're going to be, and part of that is your neurological kind of bitmap, and that map is is neurodevelopmental for people on the autism spectrum, and it causes this what we know as a condition, autism. So that is very, very interesting. A lot of people think that it's a mental health issue when it's not, but it definitely is a neurological disorder or a neurological condition, which is why, it's all to do with brain activity, which I find absolutely fascinating. And let's move on to the next fact. Okay, so Asperger's Syndrome is an autism spectrum disorder. Now, Asperger's Syndrome and autism are the same thing. It's part of the autism neurological conditions that's known as this disorder, right? And this is the interesting figures. 1 in 100 people in the United Kingdom are actually diagnosed with autism, and 1 in 60 people in the United States of America are diagnosed with autism, which is crazy numbers. Like, that's a lot of people, which is fascinating, and probably a lot more, but a lot of people go undiagnosed. So it's kind of like, it's just one of those things where a lot of people are undiagnosed at the moment, but I think we will catch up with it, and those figures will change and will vary, and maybe they'll get shorter or maybe they'll get bigger. Who knows? But at the moment in time, as I tell you this video, that's what the statistics are. So if you're watching this in the future, in 3025, hello from the past. This is a cool echo of all the cool things we did in the past when I don't know, 2020 is not the best year in the world, but yeah. Anyway, let's get on with the rest of this video. Okay, so number 3, behavioral traits, right? So Asperger's Syndrome is characterized by behavior traits in a person, and these include lack of eye contact, obsessive focus on an interest of topic, and difficulties with social interactions. That's kind of like a really crude, but very to the point version of how the triad of impairment kind of impacts somebody, and that's how they get the autism diagnosis, because in those areas, they have issues or they struggle in those areas, and that's kind of like how it works. So there are behavioral traits that will create hallmarks and identifiable markers for people on the autism spectrum, and kind of how you diagnose it. Okay, so at number 4, Hans Asperger. Now, Asperger's syndrome came from a body of research done in like the 1940s, I think it was like 1947, developed by a guy called Hans Asperger, who was an Austrian physician or doctor or whatever, and he was publishing work and information back then on behavioral traits of boys in particular, which is quite interesting. He didn't really study girls, just boys, and this is kind of what the condition was named after, and it wasn't actually named after him until like 2000, what are we talking about? It wasn't actually named after him until like the 1980s when he died. I think he died in like 1984, and then after that they started naming the condition Asperger's syndrome, which is fascinating. I didn't really know that until I was researching for this video, so yeah, how cool is that? Okay, so number 5 is name change. Now this is interesting. I was kind of talking about this in the beginning of the video, and I wanted to kind of go over it in more detail. So Asperger's syndrome found its name change in 2013 due to the change in the DSM-5, which is basically the book, the guidebook for diagnosing people. It's American. It's like American psycho. I don't know, therapy book that comes out. Every single edition has different like things in it, and tells you like, oh well, you know, you can't call this anymore, or this. It's all like language based and terminologies and stuff like that. But basically, it's the criteria that you use to diagnose somebody with conditions like autism. Now, the DSM-5 actually changed the nomenclature from Asperger's syndrome to autism spectrum disorder, and it's now formally known as autism spectrum disorder and not Asperger's syndrome. And the reason they did this is because there was basically this uproar where Asperger's, people who were diagnosed with Asperger's had lower support needs than people who were diagnosed with autism, but people who were diagnosed with autism and Asperger's still needed support and have special educational needs, and both need equal amounts of care taken to the specific area of their life that was giving them issues. But of course, when you have a diagnosis of autism, you're able to access autism support. When you had Asperger's, a lot of people weren't able to access the Asperger's support because it wasn't autism and all this kind of stuff. So basically, they did away with all this nomenclature, and they just said it's autism spectrum disorder, and everybody can access the support as much or as little as they need, which is a great move. Now guys, if you have anything to add, pop it in a comment down below. I'd love to have a conversation. I read and respond to every single one. If you like this video, please share it on Facebook and Twitter. Give it a thumbs up, share this video, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you next time, guys. Peace.